Hello and welcome to the Inner Gamer On. My name is Brett Yanofsky.
And I'm Austin Morales. Brett, what are we talking about this week?
Today we are going to be talking about the announced, as of pre-E3 announced, E3 heavy hitters.
It's there's actually a lot announced prior to E3, which is surprising. It's like every year more things get dropped. People were saying it's being leaked. One guy on Twitter said this is the final battle royale of the year is E3, and the person who wins is the one who doesn't get all their games leaked. And I'm just like, what's going on today?
That's true. Yeah.
Why this year of all years? Like, I want to come to E3. I want to be impressed.
Blame
I'm sure
Walmart.
I will be.
Blame Walmart. It started with them.
It did.
It started with them, and all of a sudden it's just like leaks onward.
Everyone's like, let's just put it all out there. Screw it. Screw E3. Don't matter anymore.
It makes me wonder, like, you know, some of these trailers that have been revealed after leaks came out. I wonder if those were like trailers that were intended to be for E3, and then they dropped the trailers, and now they're like scurrying to like make something new.
What's gonna be good now? Yeah,
I don't know what to put out there because we had to release our trailer like 3 weeks early. Holy shit!
It could be all hype. Could just be like, hey, Walmart, leak this, and then. Yeah, well, everyone will be hyped for E3, and then, I don't know. I think
it's gonna be big though.
It's gonna be big.
Yeah.
Right, so what we got?
So here? we're gonna go through. So we have a process we're gonna do here. We're gonna go through each conference that's gonna take place. And before we jump into that, though, I do want to mention that we are gonna be doing some video content during the week of E3. So we're not gonna do any live shows or anything like that. But what we are gonna do is release video wrap ups of like each conference, and then we're gonna have our podcast, which is gonna be part one. Like the weekend of E3, basically, it's going to come out on Tuesday. So everything will be done except for Nintendo when you listen to it. But we're only going to cover like the first few conferences. And then the following week, you're going to get the second wrap up on like the extended version on the podcast. So you'll have the audio versions. You also have some short videos that's going to go over everything. So keep your eye on that because it's really awesome.
It should be released the day of each conference.
Yes.
Should
be. Fingers crossed. Going. Anyway, so with this one, we're going to talk about the big ones that we know that are coming out there, the heavy hitters of each conference, and we're going to talk about our surprise, like what we hope is revealed in some form or fashion. So one, and then we're going to go through everything, and then we'll be done. Nice, short, concise, awesome. Starting with Sony. So Sony's doing it different this year. They're just focusing on 4 games, one of which is Ghost of Tsushima. And that is the game from Sucker Punch, the ones that did Infamous.
Right.
And we don't know much about this game, but what I do know is that they're going to have a lot of content to cover on this game at the show. So I'm sure we're going to see gameplay. I'm sure we're going to see more of the story. So what we know so far is basically that this is a game set on the island of Tsushima during the Mongol invasions of Japan in 1294, not 1994, 1294. You play as a lone samurai turned vengeful assassin, likely fighting to drive out the Mongol army from Japan. And in this game, it takes you to numerous locales across Tsushima, including villages, bamboo forests, and wide open fields. And you will be able to like throw bombs and surprise enemies with jumping attacks. So it's basically like Assassin's Creed and Samurai World, but you can't like climb on buildings as much because there's not buildings to climb on. So at E3, they're going to have a big, huge press conference. This will be one of the games they're showcasing in addition to what I forgot to mention in here. We should have also mentioned The Last of Us Part 2. Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Well, The Last of Us Part 2 is a big, heavy hitter.
It's almost like I don't want to know any more info about it. I just want it to come out. Like, I'm glad that's not like, is that going to be in there?
No, it is.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have Spider-Man, Last of Us Part 2, Death Stranding, and Ghost of Tsushima. Those are the 4 things that Sony's conference.
Right.
Yeah. Which will be cool. I mean, that's nice, concise, more detailed stuff. So they're going to go deeper into each game.
I'm glad they're focusing on it. I hope they really get us hyped.
Because, I mean, these are like 4 games that are like, these aren't like, oh, here's another Halo. Here's another. These are all like new originals except for The Last of Us Part 2. I mean, like Spider-Man is like, they repeat Spider-Man, but this is like a new Spider-Man.
Right.
It's going to be badass. What we hope, Death Stranding. I want to see gameplay. I don't know about you.
I want it to make sense. Like, I want them to make... Yes, gameplay would be great. Like, I want to know what this game's getting into. But people are saying that it might not come out to, like, 2020. Actually, Greg Miller said it wasn't going to come out to 2019, 2020. Which, if it came out next year, that'd be freaking amazing. Yeah. But I don't think it will. I think it might come out 2020, 2021.
And how long do you think how long ago did they first announce it? I guess it's been 2 years now.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's using an existing engine, so they didn't have to create anything new. they want to probably release it before the next generation of consoles comes out.
Yeah.
So it has to come out before
the next 3 years.
2022 or 2023.
Yeah. Might be right on the cusp of the final.
But it also has to come out before they announce the next PlayStation, because that would be bad sales on their part.
True.
Because it'd be like, well, I'm just going to wait for the PS4 version or the PS5 version that's better looking.
2020 sounds like a good date.
Yeah.
Most likely. I mean, we don't know the scope of this project yet, so hopefully we'll find out more about that.
It's going to be Battle Royale.
But, oh, God, please don't.
I'm just kidding. That'd be pretty funny, though.
But Ghost of Tsushima real quick. I feel like from the trailer and stuff, I know we haven't really speculated anything about like what it's about, but it seems like you're a dead guy. So it looks like you're kind of a ghost, which is reminds me of Dark Souls. And I don't want to bring up Dark Souls for every fucking game like everyone fucking does.
I was thinking more Shadows of Mordor.
Shadows of Mordor. Yeah, something like that.
Because
I mean, same thing with like
kind of.
I mean, it's along the same lines as Dark Souls. You're kind of a dead thing. Yeah, it seems like that. It seems like you're this dead guy who comes back and like becomes a shadow assassin of some kind. But you might have superpowers or something like that. Like throwing some mystical stuff in there, which I think would be kind of cool, but we'll see what happens.
Right. I'm just curious to see, like, I mean, this is going to be an open world game, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But like, what is the exploration going to be like? It's a lot of combat. I mean, I'm thinking like Shadow. Like, I think it would be akin to Dark Souls-esque and Shadows of Mordor-esque and stuff like that, where you run around fighting a bunch of bad guys, you know, wrecking shop, but really cool acrobatic like maneuvers. But then like stealth mixed in there, where you have to be silent, deadly, like sneak around across the rooftops and then plan your drop attacks and stuff like that.
Hopefully RPG elements added in there.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it's gonna have RPG stuff.
Like, because it has a mystical aspect to it. We have mystical powers of some kind, like putting talent points to that to like do cooler, like, I don't know, you do like a blink shadow to some enemy, you know, and you like make his brains explode with your shadow powers. I don't know, like crazy stuff like that, you know, or you have the ability
I never thought
to like,
about that. Yeah,
suck into like becomes like.
So it's not necessarily like a grounded samurai experience where it's like all realism stuff, but maybe having some kind of supernatural elements.
I really think it's going to.
I guess the name makes sense. The Ghost of Tsushima.
Exactly.
So
like, how are they going to kill you? You know, that kind of thing, or like something where like demons have come into the world. But then I guess you're that's kind of treading the water on Dark Souls a little bit.
That is very Dark Souls.
I don't know. I'm hoping it's something like that. Like, I want to see some mystical stuff in there.
Yeah.
With this. Anyway.
What's the biggest thing you want from Death Stranding?
Yeah, I think gameplay.
Yeah.
I just want to know the scope of this game. Like, just give me an outline of like, here it is.
It's open world. I feel like everything these days pretty much is given open world, but
do a Metal Gear Solid 5 trailer where there was a trailer and then you saw some gameplay.
Yeah.
Like, if we got that, would be good, like gravy.
What if Death Stranding was like Detroit Become Human, where it's just like you just like choose your dialogue options and stuff?
It's made
Do you want Norman Reedus to kill Mads Mikkelsen or not? Yes or no? Decide your attempt to.
I will say this:
the Black Smoke Monster. How do you approach the Black Smoke Monster?
It's Hideo Kojima. I'll buy anything from him at this point. I am
fanboy,
super fanboy.
All right. So let's move on to the Microsoft conference. So we have confirmed, well, not basically confirmed, there will be a Gears of War reveal. So one thing about Microsoft is last year they focused on their Xbox One X, but they didn't have a lot of titles of any kind to speak of. It was all third-party stuff.
They were like, hey, look at all these cool things that are going to come out.
Yeah, look at all these great games that run on our Xbox One X that we didn't publish. And then check out our Sea of Thieves coming out next year, and then Crackdown 3 that we did have a release date on, and now we don't have a release date. So maybe we'll get a release date again. But anyway, they are focused. We're hearing rumors that there's going to be a Halo and then a Gears of War, but heavily focused on Gears of War. So they are going to have this Microsoft conference set up in another space. So they're going to have play going on in another area, all that stuff. So they're planning something big.
I could see them. Okay, it does make sense. It may be a battle royale or like a campaign with battle royale.
So here's the caveat to it. They're talking 3 Gears of War games. That's what the rumor is. They're talking? There's maybe 3 of them revealed.
Dang,
so one of which is like a core title,
right?
And then one would be like a battle royale kind of multiplayer thing of some kind.
Right.
But that's like again, that's a rumor. But that's what they've been talking about. And the other one, I don't know what the other one is.
If that's true, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Would I want to buy an Xbox just to play Gears of War? Right now, it's a no. But if they get me really hyped, it might be worth it. I don't know. Apparently, Gears of War 3 was good. Was it 3? Last one was 3 or was it 4? Gears of War 4.
4.
Apparently, that was good. Didn't get to play it. It looked pretty sweet. Graphics look good. I don't know.
Yeah, so Gears of War 5 is what they're thinking will be a single-player campaign. The multiplayer modes the series has been famous for. Meanwhile, the second rumored game is said to be a real-time strategy title in the vein of Halo Wars, so like Gears Wars or something like that, which would be quite different from the third-person shooters that fans are used to. Finally, a Gears of War branded Battle Royale game is said to be in the works as well, which would give their own spin of Call of Duty. The Call of Duty Battle Royale that they're working on. So that's what we're hearing about with that. I've lost interest in the Gears of War franchise like a long time ago, and I've never actually been a fan of it. I've never been a fan of any Microsoft franchise, honestly. Like Halo, I was never a big fan of like everybody else was. I've never been a fan of Gears of War, never a big fan of Fable, never a big fan of anything really that they do. And I don't know what it is. Just like the appeal to me is not as strong. Like the force is weak within me with their stuff. And I haven't figured it out. Like Gears of War, I feel like is too like Macho Man kind of attitude, which I hear they changed that a lot in Gears of War 4, but which I need to play. But I played through the original ones. I like the co-op aspects of it. Like those are always cool, and the horde mode and things like that. But I don't know. I don't know what a battle royale like this would be akin to. Like how would that? I mean, I don't think you'd have anybody drop in from the sky. I mean, I guess you could, but huge map, anything of that nature, like that would be kind of weird. They'd have to do. Somebody's going to come out this year and reinvent Battle Royale and make it in a way that we haven't experienced it yet.
It should. I thought Battlefield was going to do that.
Yeah,
but apparently it's not what we thought it was.
Not what you thought it was.
Not what I thought it was. But in turn, you thought that I thought what it was.
No, I just let you roll with that one.
Oh, thanks, man.
I was like, yeah, you can just keep talking. I'll just let you run with it.
Yeah. I'll sit here, right. Yeah.
But I mean, they did have that airborne mode that they announced. Did you see that?
Yeah, no. Isn't that what the Battle Royale could be?
Yeah, but we didn't talk about that last time because they didn't announce it yet.
Right. Well,
but that's what Battle Royale could be, which is interesting. So
exactly,
it's a possibility there. That's a possibility. Potentially.
All right.
So yeah, Gears of War. That's what we got with Gears of War. Kind of lukewarm excitement about that, but what I am excited about is what is rumored to come out, which we talked about briefly on the previous podcast with the E3 predictions, but Cyberpunk 2077. This is going to be revealed here. The marketing plan is in place. It's going to be announced, and there's rumors that Microsoft has some kind of tie to it. So,
what are we going to see? What do you think?
Story trailer. That's going to blow your mind beyond belief.
Story trailer. I'll say we get a development video. It started with The Witcher, and here's this whole like thing of what we did up to The Witcher 3, and then like what we wanted to evolve on, and then our development time, and like some cool graphic art stuff, and like
concept
all this time that concept art that we've been like working on this thing for a hard time.
All the workers in dark rooms staring at a computer, looking at the art
bags on their eyes, completely pale, like just dead, just like we were talking about one of our discussed topics. They've been working too long. They haven't come out of a room for years.
Do you think this would? So looking at the space, the nature of where we are in time right now, like all these games that are coming out are games as a service. They're heavily open world. You got a lot of these unlockables and add-ons and things like that. Everybody's going for like a co-op or multiplayer kind of like tie-in and any kind. Do you see any of that, like say like a co-op or a multiplayer kind of experience coming into this, or do you see any kind of cyberpunk? Yeah, or or do you think they'll stay tried and true with like just the standard formula and not throw that stuff in there, but just make a really good badass single player game?
I mean, The Witcher 3 made a crap ton of money.
Yeah,
and it was just a single player. Now, I guess you can. I don't know exactly how much. I don't know if you want to pull the numbers or not, but
no.
Obviously, Battle Royale is where it's at. It's making a shit ton of money, probably more than what The Witcher 3 brought in. Over time, I don't know what The Witcher 3 brought in either, but I feel like they've got that down. People want to see that. People know them for a Witcher game, Witcher style story. I feel like they're just going to stick with that.
Yeah.
I don't see them going off and do it. That's not what they do. You know?
I mean, because I think along the lines of, Grand Theft Auto had been all about the story, open world stuff, and then they threw in that GTA Online system later on that ended up being a very successful business venture for them, while they could still maintain the essence of what they're really known for, which is the really good open world single player experiences that immerses you into those worlds.
Right.
And Cyberpunk could go that direction with this. You know, have some kind of system, but
I say no, but it's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, I completely understand if they want to jump into that. I mean, everyone's jumping on a bandwagon of let's do multiplayer, and it's I don't know.
I mean, something co-op. I'm all for. I feel like every RPG that comes out should be a co-op.
I think they'll do that.
Yeah.
If anything, they'll do co-op.
Because like if you had like a 4-player co-op where you could be in a shared world and play the game with your friend, akin to Borderlands and stuff like that, I really think that could do really well. And
they could do.
You don't
like,
have to, but you can add that in there. And if you do add that in there, your other character can have like, you know, can dictate. Like I want to see somebody take the idea. Like, you know, we had when Devin wrote that article a long time ago about the second player not really having a face to any of these co-op kind of games. I really want the like second player. Like there's just like with Halo, like you have the cutscenes where it's just Master Chief, and then your other player is just like this figure that doesn't exist in the world until you spawn into the gameplay, and it's like now you're there.
Right.
I think Cyberpunk could do a good job, or any co-op game that's RPG style, where your two characters, like if you're playing solo, it's the standard game or whatever. But if you had a second character in there, it could like slightly alter the way that the stories play out. Like, I mean, obviously it's going to be harder and more difficult, but maybe there's like a heightened level of like the story recognizes this other player in here in some way and responds to that.
I can see where they do a linked co-op. By linked, I mean if you have a game, I have a game, and they do a joined co-op. Okay, my speculation is it's going to be like you're going to be a detective or something. Some kind of like it seems like a noir-esque game, kind of like damn it, Blade Runner.
Yeah,
that's what it feels like to me. So I feel like you're going to be a detective going through this world, catching bad guys. Obviously, I have no idea if this is true or not, but it'd be nice if bounty it was that, maybe. And it was kind of like Prey 2, when you're kind of like that bounty hunter.
What Prey 2 is going to be.
Yeah. And then possible co-op bounties in the world where you can link up with your friends to complete the stuff. Like almost like...
oh, that could be interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, just hypothetically, there's a mission. You get the boss.
Like Monster Hunter World, in a way.
Yeah.
Where like, you know, you're playing the story solo.
Right.
But when you want to do combative fights or whatever and go into like battles and stuff, we can team up with a friend and bring them in there.
There could be something along the lines of, you know, maybe you took down this mob boss or whatever, hypothetically, and some of his minions or like higher lieutenants got away.
Hypothetically.
And then you hypothetically go and have to actually bring them down because, say, they're building up a new army or whatever, and you have to team up with your friend.
Hypothetically.
Have to hypothetically kill all these people, hypothetically. Along the way, and like, you know, storm a base and then finally kill them to like finish that mission, or I don't know, to like you get loot or whatever, hypothetically.
So hypothetically, I think that sounds pretty interesting.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
that'd be nice. Like something where you and your friend have to literally work together, hypothetically.
Literally, hypothetically. Literally.
Okay, we gotta stop that.
So there we go. All right, awesome. So that's Microsoft. So that's our thing. So we're for sure going to see some Gears of War. Hoping we see some Cyberpunk. That's the plan with that. Now let's move into the publishers for a minute here. So we got Electronic Arts. So we know Electronic Arts for Battlefield, Madden, and that other thing that I forget right now. But there's another thing, a franchise. Well, there's all the sports games, I guess.
Oh, okay. all the sports games.
But Anthem is going to be their big seller this year. So this is BioWare. This is directed by the guy that's responsible for Mass Effect 1 and 2. So that's a positive sign. Anthem definitely looks like a Destiny akin kind of thing where you go with cooperative stuff. You can play the entire story solo, but it's also cooperative. And when you beat missions or whatever, you get loot, guns that level up and all that jazz, similar again to Destiny. But the talk on the street is we're going to get a lot of details about Anthem here.
Right.
And I've been wondering if like we're going to see a release date this year, but I'm starting to think maybe it's a little too early. I mean, we're going to see a release date, but I don't think it's going to come out this year.
Right.
I feel like it might wait.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be next year, like either spring or fall. It has to be spring or fall. I don't see a summer release date.
Oh, nobody's going to do summer for this game. Yeah,
it's got to be fall. It's probably going to be fall next year, and hopefully it's a Destiny killer. Because if it's Destiny 3.0,
Destiny's already dead.
True.
It's going to be
a Destiny corpse killer.
Hypothetically.
Okay. I'm done with the hypotheticals. This is legit now. This is legit.
Yep.
Yeah. What do you want to see from them?
I just wanted to make me feel like the things that I'm doing aren't grinds. Like I wanted to have quests that matter and are important. And I know that
affect the world.
I know that
see it.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't even have to do that. It just needs to be something that is intriguing other than let's go and fight 5 freaking dregs or whatever
and get a cool armor piece.
I want Mass Effect has always been good at making really good, interesting stories and then some side quests and things like that. They're not always interesting, but they can be interesting little side pieces.
Now that I think about it, it could be futuristic Dragon Hunter.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not Dragon Hunter. Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
Which had a short lifespan, if you ask me. At least in our eyes.
It did, yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of people still playing it.
I think the environment is really interesting for sure.
Yeah.
And I think the abilities you can do are really cool. Like being able to like use a jetpack and fly around and like, I mean, there's a lot of potential in what you can carry out in this game. I guess, yeah. I want the story to be really engaging. I want that to be
like a single player story that's really engaging.
Yeah, well, the co-op story. There's just a story that you're going to play out whether you're playing with friends or not. Yeah. I want that to be very, very interesting. I want it to be.
What's a traditional story we've seen with these kind of games from just what we're looking at? Because the initial trailer was you're walking through a market. It looks like it's third world country ish. Obviously, you have all this badass technology, and you're living on like this mountain. And everything else seems to be completely covered in,
vegetation, jungle and stuff like
monsters
that.
And
you
stuff
take off in a jetpack and then see all the animals and creatures throughout the world and whatnot.
Do you think they're going to have different planets? Sorry, not to stray away from that, but
no, I think so. I think they'll have different biomes. So it'll be kind of like that.
Destiny, where you can go to different planets and do different things.
Yeah, I'm hoping it'll be handled differently.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what that means. I guess you wouldn't have any space combat. I mean, the way Mass Effect 2 did it, where you could like scan planets and stuff before you landed on them, I guess was okay.
I don't think it's going to be like that.
But I don't think so either. I mean, that's basically what Destiny is. You just can't scan it, but like
right.
But you could use that to like find quests and stuff before you like embark on a part, but like have it be an open world when you do land at whatever you're landing at. Like. I think one thing Destiny screwed up on, which is really hard to do, is making their open world actually feel massive and open world. Like I feel like even with Destiny 2, it still felt kind of confined and not as large as it could have been as it does in Horizon Zero Dawn, where it's just like, this is huge. There's so much to explore here.
I hope it's like Mass Effect, where you can explore these giant worlds with a bunch of stuff to do on it.
Yeah.
Its own ecosystems, its own bounties, its own quests, its own communities. Like I want each planet to be different, or some degree different.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
So then for EA's prediction, I'm thinking they need to find a Star Wars game that's good to talk about.
Yes.
But the problem is, I don't know if it will be good because they said they're not doing that single player one anymore. They're just doing a service-based something. But I want to see what the Star Wars is going to be, because I know that they're doing something, but it may be too early to get a reveal for it. But other than that, they're going to have Anthem and Battlefield and Madden.
They might tease it.
Yeah.
The most likely will tease some Star Wars something.
Yeah.
And they'll probably tell us what generation we're in. It could be current Star Wars episodes, or it could be past Star Wars episodes, or it could be like before the prequels episodes or timeline, which seems more likely actually to do a prior to prequels.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I just want them to make a good Star Wars game and have it come out and be awesome and amazing. And Battlefront 2 had so much potential, and it was still good, but wasn't good enough to keep me interested. Yeah, the star cards just killed it. All right, next up we got Bethesda. We're going to talk about some Bethesda real quick. What we have announced, confirmed, coming, Fallout 76.
What does that mean? So it's the same engine, doesn't look much different than Fallout 4. Maybe better graphics. I don't know yet. It doesn't seem like that. So that has me a little worried because I knew their next Fallout game had to be different. Fallout 4, great, but the next one had to change. It wasn't the story wasn't on par to what I think it should have been. I mean, it's typical Bethesda. They allow you to go out and explore, but I feel like exploration was like the thing to do in Fallout 4, which is fine. But I feel like the story lacked to the point to where it didn't pull you forward like kind of God of War story did. Not kind of, but God of War story really got you gripped and didn't want to let you go and pulled you back every time you went off to do side quests, which at least for me that is. So I'm hoping if this is another story-based one set in Fallout that it really focuses on story. But if it isn't, because we have some speculations, if you haven't already, stay tuned on Saturdays and Sundays before the cast where we actually go live on Instagram. And this is where we talked about it. It could be kind of like a multiplayer-esque Fallout.
Rumor has it Rust-like.
Like
online multiplayer survival game.
Which is going to be very interesting.
Yep.
When I posted to Instagram, people were excited that it was going to be a new game, but others were hoping it's not going to be multiplayer because it very much could be. It looked like you almost were in charge of your own vault, which can be cool, which is kind of like a 3D Fallout Shelter, which is fine. You might have to do, inventory management and resource management and stuff like that. And it kind of makes sense that it would be kind of like a things or people, raiders or monsters would enter your shelter or your base, and you would have to set up defenses to kind of kill them. And then waves, after a few waves, you can rebuild or do whatever, which I don't know. That sounds plausible to me.
Yeah.
It just makes sense. But at the same time, I don't know what to think of it. If it's a multiplayer, I'm curious to know what they want to do with that in the Fallout world.
So for context, just in the overall game itself, is Vault 76 is a vault in the lore that was scheduled to be open in 2097, 20 years after it would have closed. But the Pip-Boy in Fallout's teaser trailer has a date of October 27th, 2102. That's 5 years later, almost exactly 25 years after the Great War started on October 23rd. 2077. For context, that's the earliest setting for a Fallout game by nearly 60 years. The first Fallout was set in 2161, which is about 60 years later. Fallout 2 then jumped forward 100 years to 2241, and then Fallout 3 was in 2277, New Vegas in 2281, and Fallout 4 being the latest in the years 2287. That means Fallout 76 is set almost 200 years before any modern Fallout game that's been released.
Which is very exciting.
Yeah. So, So if this is 5 years after the scheduled opening of the vault, we're like, what does that mean?
What if this is Battle Royale? Everyone's out against them. Everyone's against each other because it's a do or die world right now where everything is super highly intense. Not that we see in the regular Fallouts, because in the regular Fallouts, everything's kind of all the radiation's gone down. Everyone's kind of found their own, home and residence within certain communities within the world. This is complete, utter chaos still. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just saying.
I don't know. Probably not.
Maybe.
Not. That'd be crazy.
But speculation.
That's pretty wild.
All right, what's next?
All right, anyway. So then prediction. Starfield. That's the rumored name for the next RPG new IP from Bethesda. And if we see this, it'll be really interesting, because if that's the case, we're going to get Rage 2, we're going to get Fallout 76, and we're gonna get a new IP from Bethesda during their conference, which actually isn't too out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
They do usually have 3 to 4 games that they announce or talk about, but Starfield, I'm really intrigued by it. So it's basically like a Fallout or a Skyrim, but in a science fiction universe. The thing about that, though, that I'm concerned about is that the usual studio that develops the mainline Elder Scrolls and Fallout games is making Fallout 76. So if that's the case, who's making the Starfield? My theory is, what if it was Arcane Studios down in Austin that's been working on it? So they're not doing like Prey 2 or whatever.
Right.
But they're doing like this new IP. It's brand spanking new.
I can see that. Yeah.
So
I definitely could see that.
they don't do RPGs. I mean, they've done like, Dishonored and stuff like that, but they could easily probably transition that and have those really cool gameplay elements that you've come to know and love. So yeah, I mean, I'm hoping Starfield is something special, and it gets me excited because Fallout and Elder Scrolls don't get me too excited. But
Yeah.
like I'm all about the sciencey, like fiction, like universe, space travel stuff. So
Oh yeah.
very intrigued by that.
Heck yeah.
So let's hope it comes. All right, next up, we got the one and only Ubisoft. Known for big, heavy-hitting titles that change the game every time. They revolutionize franchises and change the world. We have another Assassin's Creed. Confirmed, thanks to a leak.
Not
That
surprised.
then became confirmed.
Yep.
So-
not surprised.
I feel like they should have learned their lesson when they took like 3 years off from bringing out an Assassin's Creed game and then brought out Origins, and everybody's like, this is so cool, it's back again. And then a year later, hey, we got another one coming out. We're back to the 1 year cycle, just so you know. So Assassin's Creed Odyssey is the next one. It's set in ancient Greece, and that's about all we know. But I did hear some rumors that it's going to introduce dialogue options, so you'll have choice in what
Okay.
you say.
Okay.
And you can play as a male or female protagonist this time around.
That's different.
So there's those things. That's about all we know about it.
Right.
But I don't know. I feel like unless they had another studio working on this, which they could very well have had another studio working on it, like how much time did they take off to develop this game? Because that last game is huge. I mean, so much stuff in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And they have another one coming out a year later. Like,
I wonder if they use some of the
that
assets.
franchise rest for a little bit.
I wonder if they use some of the assets from Origins.
They could have. I don't know what they would have reused though, because like the architecture of
Well, obviously
Egypt is so different from Greece.
Well, I'm talking about like just land stuff. Obviously, architecture have to be different, like land and
textures and things.
yeah, certain textures just in the world, animals,
It's probably the same map. Just some
enemy
new assets.
enemy
on-
animation, stuff like that. Just retexture some of this stuff. That can't take too long.
Yeah, but that's a
know.
bad way to do it.
Well,
Freaking
obviously.
Assassin's Creed. Don't be Call of Duty, okay? Don't be Call of Duty.
Just facelift every so often.
Yeah, basically. I don't know. We'll see. I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
because you liked Origins a lot.
Oh yeah, that Origins was great.
Yeah. And then
great.
so Odyssey is the next one. Hopefully it's a different studio. So some promise there. The other thing, predictions. Sort of
Cell.
prediction.
Splinter Cell. It's got to be there. It's got to be there.
Yeah.
Just a tease. If it's just a tease, I'm good to go.
Here's what I'm hoping
Like a
for.
badass tease too.
I feel like they're going to give us like a pretty good amount. I bet it's coming out this year. I bet we're going to get a drop this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Splinter Cell this year?
I think so.
Wow.
Yeah. Because think about it with like Ubisoft. Like last year they announced Mario plus Rabbids and they were like, oh yeah, 3 months later it's coming out. I mean, that's not as big of a game.
Right,
nearly.
right.
But Splinter Cell I feel like has been in development for a little bit. I could see it dropping this year. And it's different enough. But it would go head to head with Tomb Raider maybe. But I don't know. Like the thing with Splinter Cell is I want them to return to form of the days of old. Like Splinter Cell Conviction was really fun, but it was very much more action packed than traditional tactical espionage.
Right.
I think it'd be cool for them to explore that kind of a mix between a James Bond and what Splinter Cell originally was. So like Sam Fisher as a traditional old school spy guy that moves around, maybe like a cross between Hitman and like the original like Splinter Cell or
See, I
something.
didn't play the
along those
original
lines.
Splinter Cells.
Yeah, they're really good. There was a good co-op mode in there, whereas like 2-on-2 or something like that, where two of you were like spies and two of you were just like infantry guys that ran around with guns. So as the spies, you had to, sneak around, and you could only stab people and use a silenced pistol. Whereas the guys that were the other dudes had like machine guns and could roam around the hallway. So you had to like sneakily make your way around to, get the jump on the other human players. And it was kind of a cool multiplayer mode.
Right.
And yeah, but I don't know. I could see them doing some really cool stuff now that we have all these great graphics now and everything, like going some cool locales, really intense mood lighting and stuff like that.
Right.
Really taking advantage of the environment to conceal yourself, and lots of gadgets and things of that nature. So we'll see. Then they also have the Division 2. So like Division, Assassin's Creed, and Splinter Cell all in 1 year. Division 2 probably won't come out this year though. I bet Division 2 will be a spring of next year.
I can see that. Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah. Any other thoughts on Ubisoft? No? Okay.
South Park
DLC. They do have another DLC coming out. They just brought out the Casa Bonita DLC.
Oh, did they?
But they have another story DLC that's supposed to come out eventually. That's supposed to be longer. Dude, you should. It's really good.
I know.
How far did you get?
I don't know.
Yeah. Man, see, that's a game that I finished. You didn't finish?
I know.
What the heck?
I know.
Blasphemy. It's crazy. All right. So finishing up everything, we got Nintendo. Nintendo dropped a bombshell last week. We talked about Pokemon Quest.
I don't think it was bombshell.
Oh, no. It's a bombshell, bro. It's a bombshell.
The shell of many bombs.
It's a bomb of shells.
Okay.
Well, not really a bombshell.
Tell us about this bombshell.
We have Pokemon Quest.
Yeah.
Then we have another Pokemon game coming out. 2 of them. Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. That links up with the Pokemon Go game. I mean, come on, bro. Bombshell. Because, like, you play Pokemon Go.
I don't find this very attractive.
Now you can collect Pokemon and transfer them into your game.
That's stupid. I'm sorry.
And you play Pokemon Go?
It doesn't get me excited, man.
Oh, you're weird.
Yeah, there's a weird connection with this game and Pokemon Go. It just felt like, what's a way to do this connected to, 2 things you can go on, like... I mean, I don't know. I guess we don't know too much about it, but it just seems kind of mediocre to me.
So Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee are going to take players back to the original 151 Pokemon, and it has multiplayer. It's inspired by Pokemon Yellow, and in it, you will go into Kanto, and you can play as Pikachu or Eevee with the player's character on your shoulder or head, and it is going to there's a special controller coming out, Pokeball controller.
Yep.
And you can bring one of the Pokemon with them as you explore the real world, which is kind of cool.
Yep.
And let's see what else we got here. It's an RPG, so it's got a story to it a little bit. It ties in with Pokemon Go, so you can you catch Pokemon in real life. A drop in, drop out co-op, first in the series. And yeah, Pokemon. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's cool, but it's not like amazing.
Yeah.
Now we're getting this Pokemon game, but I don't know. It seems kind of hokey to me.
Kind of like Pokemon Go. It's pretty hokey.
Okay, maybe a little bit.
It's similar. I mean, this is more of an in-depth version of Pokemon than Pokemon Go was originally.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, what all you'll do. Like, will it have RP? Like, will it be like story stuff as much as I think it will be, or will it be more just like you roam around and just run into Pokemon, kind of like Pokemon Quest, and discover these new Pokemon?
That's what it looks like. I saw one of the little gameplay clips they had in the trailer, and it's just like you went in this cave and you see all the Pokemon that are in there just walking around. You can go up to them, and I guess that's how you catch them, is doing that.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, that's kind of destroys the mystery of like running. I don't know. Just cool. Some people will like it. Some people won't.
Well, Pokemon Go has 800 million players now.
Dang, man.
It's a pretty big deal.
Dang good, actually.
Yep. It's doing really well.
Yep.
And then in addition to that, we also have confirmation that Pokemon will be getting a proper core RPG, but it's not coming to the Switch until 2019. So in the meantime, you got Pokemon Quest and Pokemon Let's Go. And then in the future, in 2019, you'll have a brand new core Pokemon title. Whatever it is, we don't really know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. There we go. Nintendo. Now, Bombshell. Change
That's
up.
it.
Metroid Prime 4?
Heck yeah.
Gameplay? You want gameplay?
I don't think we'll get a gameplay,
Really?
but I think Okay, we might get a little something. We're gonna get a bigger tease than we did last year, obviously, and I think it's gonna come out next year, next fall. I think that's when it's gonna be released.
Okay,
next fall. I
next
can see
fall.
that. Mm-hmm. I can see like a 2 to 3 minute trailer, gameplay, hype up, get all the stuff, new things added. So I guess they would add in some gameplay as well.
Okay,
and yeah.
Bam. We gotta get some gameplay.
Metroid Prime 4, yeah.
I guess last year we didn't get anything, but
I can see us getting a really cool cinematic trailer for it.
Yeah,
at the very least.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about Metroid Prime. I didn't know it was first person until like I looked it up recently, and I was like, oh, because I'm so used to seeing Metroid as like the regular Metroid where it's like side scrolling kind of thing.
Right,
but this one's like legit 3D first person.
So it should be pretty sweet, especially if it's gonna be on the Switch.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
What if you use gyroscope controls and be like?
Well, no, they did that with when they released the Metroid Prime for the Wii U or the Wii. You had the controls.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
nice.
Yeah, so I'm sure it's gonna be the same thing here. Hopefully, that's not required because I don't want to do that.
Right. Yeah.
I don't. Anyway.
Yeah, you want to use that pro controller you just bought.
Exactly. Give me a reason, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
So nice. So smooth.
It's great for Super Mario Odyssey.
Yeah. Get a pro controller.
Or actually, no, it's not because you have to use the hand gestures.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Just get a pro controller for everything.
Yeah, get a pro controller.
Anyway.
Yeah, so that's I guess that's it. That's going to be a wrap up of like the big heavy hitters of E3.
Yep.
Obviously, that's just like a portion of it. If you want to go back and listen to more, go back to our episode. Was it last episode?
Yeah, it was last episode. Yeah,
172 for our E3 predictions. And then what we're going to do is during the week of E3, as we mentioned.
No, it wasn't. It was the one before that.
171.
So Battlefield last
go to 171. What was the last one?
Battlefield.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, so go check everything out on youtube.com/InnerGamer. We're going to be posting our wrap-up videos that are going to summarize each conference as they happen. So you definitely want to check that out. And then on that Tuesday of E3, we'll have our first impressions of the E3 conferences. And then we'll follow up the next week with the additional stuff because it's going to be too much to fit in one podcast. So we're going to split up in two. So that's everything. Thank you all for listening. We hope you enjoyed everything. I'm getting my new script because I don't remember it because it's a new script.
Right. E3 is right around the corner. We're really excited about this. This should be a pretty interesting E3. Now Bethesda can really nail it with, hey, we have a game coming out this year, which is probably going to be Fallout 76. I guarantee it's coming out this year.
Oh, yeah. They've already done that once. I bet you that's going to come out, and then Rage is going to come out this year, too.
I see that, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's all coming.
An October release, and then...
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't October. I don't know. Something like that. It'd be cool if it was released like that day.
Yeah.
Buy it.
That would be interesting. They've done it before with Fallout Shelter, but that was a smaller game.
That was way smaller.
I don't know. But that's going to conclude our discussion topic this week. If it's a topic you want to hear us talk about, please head over to the Inner Gamer. Email us at hello@theinnergamer.net, and we will talk about it on a future discussion. Don't forget to check out our video clips of this segment every Thursday at youtube.com/innergamer. Also, if you donate $3 or more to our Patreon at patreon.com/innergamer, you can get the full video of this discussion. So, like, I'm looking at you if you're a Patreon subscriber right now telling you this, but if you're not, then sorry, you're missing out. So that sucks to be you, but we still love you either way. So thank you for watching or listening. Head on over to theinnergamer.net for a full podcast episode for our weekly game impressions and top headlines of the week.
That's one of me doing an interview. Here's one of all of us. We'll make some cool
things.
Brett's also right here.
Like this video, subscribe, keep up with all the latest video game news and opinions that you care about right here on The Inner Gamer.